But I'm thrilled to see you all, and some of you I saw that Bob and Jay, you guys were eating dinner earlier, and that was nice. And so it's a kind of intimate look into everybody's homes, and lives, and it's just a different kind of way of being. It's a little more relaxed, and so we're going to try to in these weeks find some benefits to all of this. Maybe if you never got up for tshuva in Beit Tshuva, if you never spoke in front of everybody because it was intimidating, maybe over Zoom it'll feel less intimidating, and you can speak when you wouldn't normally. Or maybe there's some other benefits we can find from this new kind of way of doing things. Either way, we're going to start off with a tune that is near and dear to all our hearts. And Cantor Nate, it is great to see you, sir. And Yoni, next to you. Hello, sirs. So will you start by singing Hine Mato for us?
We would love to.
Great.
Hine Mato Anayim Shevet Achim Gam Yachad. Hine Mato Anayim Shevet Achim Gam Yachad. Hine Mato Shevet Achim Gam Yachad. Hine Mato Shevet Achim Gam Yachad. Hine Mato Manayim Shevet Achim Gam Yachad. Hine Mato Manayim Shevet Achim Gam Yachad.
Beautiful. An oldie but a goodie. You got applause. I don't know if you saw them, but you got applause. Now the whole music department from their various locales, in seclusion. It's so great to see you guys collaborate. And by the way, it's good to see Paul and Andrea. I haven't seen you guys in a while. It's good to see you. Hope you guys are well. Hope everybody in your family is healthy. But we're going to sing a song about the angels that come to visit us on Shabbat, as we send blessings to all of us, that there should be a peaceful Shabbat with Shalom Aleichem.
Lie, 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 la 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 lie, la lie, la 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 lie, la lie, la 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 lie, la 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 lie, la lie, la 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 lie, la lie, la 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 lie, la lie, 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 lie.
Shalom Aleichem, Malachei Hasharet, Malachei Elyon. Vimelech, Malachei Hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Bochem l'shalom, Malachei Hashalom, Malachei Elyon. Vimelech, Malachei Hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu.
Lie, 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 la 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 lie, la lie, la 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 lie, la lie, 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 la 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 lie, la lie, la 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 lie, la lie, la 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 lie, la lie, 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 lie.
Baruch Hu Shalom Malachei Hashalom Malachei Elyon. Vimelech Malachei Hamlachim HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Zeichem l'Shalom Malachei Hashalom Malachei Elyon. Vimelech Malachei Hamlachim HaKadosh Baruch Hu.
Lie, 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 la lie, la 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 lie, la lie, la 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 lie, la lie, 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 la 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 lie, la lie, la 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 lie, la lie, la 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 lie, la lie, 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 la lie, la 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 lie, la lie, la 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 lie, la lie, 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 la 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 lie, la lie, la 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 lie, la lie, la 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 lie, la lie, 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 lie.
Rabbi.
I'm muted. I know. I tried something new there. I don't know if you noticed, Nate. You did? All right.
Yeah.
I hope it worked. And now you're all going to be singing the next part, right?
That's right. The next
All
one,
right.
we're all going to be singing it.
Now, Or Zarua. All right. Take it away.
All right. So this song was written by Glenn Goss and Jack Bender and our cantor Shira Fox, our former cantor.
Awesome.
Ozaru ala tzadik, uyishrei lev simcha, simchu tzadikim b'Adonai vehodu lezecher kodsho. Ozaru ala tzadik, uyishrei lev simcha, simchu tzadikim b'Adonai vehodu lezecher kodsho.
Light is sown for the righteous, joy for the upright. Come into the mystery, let Shabbos make it right. Light is sown for the righteous, joy for the upright. Come into the mystery, let Shabbos make it right.
Ozaru ala tzadik, uyishrei lev simcha, simchu tzadikim b'Adonai vehodu lezecher kodsho. Ozaru ala tzadik, uyishrei lev simcha, simchu tzadikim b'Adonai vehodu lezecher kodsho.
Light is sown for the righteous, joy for the upright. Come into the mystery, let Shabbos make it right. Light is sown for the righteous, joy for the upright. Come into the mystery, let Shabbos make it right.
Ozaru ala tzadik, uyishrei lev simcha, simchu tzadikim b'Adonai vehodu lezecher kodsho. Ozaru ala tzadik, uyishrei lev simcha, simchu tzadikim b'Adonai vehodu lezecher kodsho.
Beautiful. That was gorgeous. That was that's
Rabbi,
yeah.
you caused me to miss that note at the end.
No.
I caused you to miss that note at the end. How is that? How did I cause that from here?
It was your background. It was confusing.
You know, if okay, I'm not giving you a mulligan on that one.
I
okay?
muted us. Don't worry, you're out.
No, it's fine. I like it. It's fine. You can give me crap. I don't mind that. Oh wow. Good Shabbos, everybody. It's really good to see you all. It's really good to be together, however we are together. I want to take a moment. You know, it used to be that at this point of the service, and I just want to make sure, Laura, you can shake your head yes or no that we're at the part I think we are. You know, we're at Tzedakah, right? There's no other songs. I got the schedule right. Okay, good to know. You know, this used to be the part where we would walk around with boxes to collect charity, to collect funds for Beit Tshuva to help us put dinner on. And we don't get that opportunity, but the need is still there. The need is more present than ever. People are struggling, and people are overdosing, and people are in fights for their lives right now. And Beit Tshuva is a place to come for all of you who know how real that fight is. Beit Tshuva is a place for us to come together and feel loved and accepted, not for the masks we wear, but when we take the masks off. And we can't do that without your help. We can't do that without your tzedakah. It's not charity, it's justice. It's setting things right in the world. I'm going to ask, hopefully Jillian's on this call, or on this Zoom, and she can put up the link. But if you don't have it, it's just beitshuva.org/donate. And we hope that you give and give generously. We're going to do tshuva in a moment. So if you have a tshuva or a gratitude you want to share with our entire community, you are, please, feel free to raise your hand, and I'll unmute you and call on you. But I'm going to welcome you all to give and give generously. And Kobe, thank you so much. We really appreciate it so much that Anthony and Kobe, thank you so much for making a donation. So tshuva, we do tshuva out loud. And when we talk about tshuva in our groups on Friday, we talk about what we're going to actually change. If you've got a tshuva to give and you're not going to change, then it probably isn't a real tshuva. The penitent person, the one who does tshuva, the Baal tshuva, is somebody who learns from their mistakes and changes their behavior. And we do so out loud here. We're going to do it all together. I'm going to call on Charlotte, not just for seniority, but go ahead, Charlotte.
It's not really a tshuva, it's a gratitude. And that comes at the same time?
Sure, that'll work.
Well, I have a tremendous gratitude for, first of all, for my children, my family. They are fabulous. I want for nothing. Before I know I need it, they know I need it, and they see to it that I have it.
And you're grateful for Beit Tshuva?
And I'm grateful for Beit Tshuva. And I'm just praying that we've come through this thing already.
So my mom was afraid she'd be bored. She said in one of her posts,
I said
she said that
we're not going to die from coronavirus. We're going to die from boredom.
But then tonight,
I'm not bored.
Well, I was saying it's like being on a cruise ship where every half hour there's a different activity or a different Zoom. So we started by having Shabbat candle lighting with her great-grandchildren. Then we came here, and then at 7 o'clock the world stops for Jeopardy. So that's the life, life in Corona.
Let's hope that it's over and we can go back to our quotes normal life.
All right, sounds good. Thank you, Charlotte.
Everyone.
Good Shabbos. All right, I'm going to call on our chairwoman of the board, Janice, who's going to say a couple words. Just give me a sec. Are you there, Janice?
I am, but I didn't have my hand up, but I'm happy to always say a couple words.
I'm sorry. I confused that there were two Janices. Sorry, somebody, I didn't know that. My apologies.
That's okay. Let the other Janice speak. But Shabbat Shalom.
All right.
Yeah, it's funny. I'm not the chairman
Janice,
of the board.
can you turn your camera on?
Oh, yikes. Okay.
It's just it's better for us if the people that are sharing are on camera.
Do it, Dave. Okay. Yikes. Okay. I have a gratitude or a tshuva. My company laid off like 70% of their people, and my job was saved, but it was very, very difficult. And it's been a very, very rough time, a very rough week. So I just wanted to just listen to services and just be inspired. Thank you.
Great, thank you. Thank you so much for sharing that. Mm-hmm. I know this next person. I just go ahead, Lisa. Lisa, who is it? I don't know who it is. Is it Lisa or Russell?
It's Russell. Of course, it's Russell.
I'm
All
here
right.
too.
Thank God they make
Shabbat
love with
shalom,
mascara.
everybody. My name is Russell, and this is my wife, Lisa. We are very grateful members of this community. And I just want to thank everybody for the wonderful anniversary wishes. We are celebrating 4 years of wedded bliss tonight. If you were around 4 years ago, you saw that we got married at Beit Shuva in that wonderful sanctuary we all yearn to be back in. I proposed to Lisa in the sanctuary. We had our Ufruf in the sanctuary. Beit Shuva has been so integral in our lives, in our recovery, and just in the way that we are in the world. And the community of Beit Shuva means so much to us. And I just want to take this opportunity to say thank you so very much for all the love and the blessings that you have bestowed upon us. And to my wife, I just want to say how much I love you. The life that I live today is beyond my wildest dreams. You told me one time, just keep dreaming, and I always have. And you continue to make them come true. And I love you more today than I ever have. And I am just so blessed and honored to be on this journey of love and life and recovery with you. So thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, everybody.
You can't hear it, Russell and Lisa, but I just heard from around the LA County, from all the people that are on this Zoom. So thank you for that. Who else would like to give a gratitude or give tshuva or say something? Okay. So I was all right. Okay. I'm here. Go ahead, Janice.
Okay, so now I will say, first of all, happy anniversary to a fantastic couple, Lisa and Russell. But I'll give gratitude because this week I was invited by Sergio to talk to staff at a staff meeting, and I really appreciated that opportunity to be able to speak to the staff, the amazing staff at Beit Shuva, and to express my gratitude more directly to them. And thank you, Sergio, for inviting me, and to 80 some odd members of the staff for attending that meeting.
Great, thank you. I'm calling on iPad 2. I don't know who that is. iPad 2.
JP.
All right, JP, go ahead.
I just like to express gratitude to members of the community who keep checking up on me, keep checking in. My grandson, Paul, is still at Children's Hospital. This will be his 7th night. And, you know, it's just nice to know that there are people that care and people that know my daughter and Ricky and care about Paul. And that's it. Just thank you very much.
Thank you, JP. Jeremiah, go ahead.
Hello, I'm Jeremiah, grateful member of this community. Just want to show gratitude towards not only residents at the SHU, but staff, including the kitchen. They prep, they make meals through all this, and you know, we have a separate station for food for the staff and the residents, and they're working their butts off. I also want to just give gratitude to like the PFs, because that they're constantly doing stuff and they're helping. And I just want to also say happy anniversary to Russell and Lisa. Also, I also want to give gratitude to Zatara. She's my therapist. She's been still doing like weekly sessions with me, and this last week she made me realize like I have to do some homework because I'm not reaching out to like the rest of my treatment team that I had. So I'd like to give gratitude and thanks to my therapist, Tara. And gratitude, everyone, and thanks, Rabbi Ben.
Sure, thank you. I'm going to call on Paul now. Paul and Andrea, go ahead.
Oh, hi, I'm Paul, grateful member of the community.
Hi,
And
Paul.
hi there, everybody. I just wanted to say that, you know, I'm very proud as I look at this of the staff and the residents and everyone who has kept, Rabbi Ben, everyone who's kept Bet Tshuva going through this. I think if you had, you know, if we had known like 2.5, whatever, how long it's been, maybe it's 2.5 decades ago, it seems like, you know, what the world would be like for weeks and weeks and weeks, and say, well, how would Bet Tshuva do in that kind of world? And I'm not, you know, I'm sure there's stresses and strains that, you know, that I'm not aware of, but, and Sergio, everyone really who has contributed and kept Bet Tshuva going, just well done, keep it going, and let's get through this. So I just want to express my appreciation to keep a very important part of Los Angeles, California, and the country going.
Thank you, Paul. I want to give a gratitude, and I want to ask, you know, for tshuva, ask for forgiveness, make amends. The amends I have to make is, and the gratitude, actually, one of my gratitudes is to my kids, who put up with me every day. And, you know, I was in a group today. So I want to thank all of the residents that I have group with, or that I meet with, or that are in Torah study every week that keep me going. The women of the group that we have on Thursday, it was an amazing group on Thursday, and the men with whom I do tshuva group today, I learned so much. There was one today who was talking, we were talking about anger, and we were talking about what it means to be angry now that we're not the children, that no matter how old we are, sometimes we still get angry like kids, and lose our temper. And I think about all the difficult times, all of the times that I've ever wanted to take back as a parent, all of the times that I've wanted a do-over, or that I want a do-over for my parenting. They all have one thing in common, and they have to do with me not being able to keep my cool or losing my temper. And I want to thank my kids for teaching me about that, and I want to thank the residents as well. Without both lessons that I'm learning kind of simultaneously, I don't know that I would have learned it as well. And, you know, it's hard enough to share in a group. It's all the harder to share in a group over Zoom. And so those of you that come into the Zoom groups and come to our weekly, you know, 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, whatever group it is, and share and give of yourself, and are still working your recovery, that's a pretty heroic effort. And I don't want you to minimize it. I don't want you to think that, oh yeah, I'm just doing what it's nothing. And I'm sure it doesn't feel heroic, but it is, especially when it gets frustrating and we're dealing with the same stuff. You are doing recovery in a time of crisis. That is a kind of an amazing feat. This is a really stressful time that a lot of people aren't their best, and you're trying to be your best, and that's incredibly impressive. I can't finish this tshuva gratitude without talking about the super couple who's celebrating an anniversary. I know that we're not always in the building together right now, but every day that I get to be in the building with Russell or Lisa, or if I'm really lucky, both, those are great days for me, and they're just better for being able to work with you two. So thank you both for being colleagues of mine and role models, and showing me what a marriage of love and support and brit and covenant and partnership looks like. You are an unbelievable example of the knowledge that things aren't perfection. They're just great. And the love you guys have for each other, and, you know, on a personal level, Russell, the love as a man that you're able to show is such a great model for all of us. So I want to thank both of you for that. So thank you. I'm going to switch gears a little bit and give a little bit of a drosh. And talk about this week's Parsha. It's Bahar B'chukotai. I'm going to take myself off a spotlight. I just don't like, there we go. I'll see somebody else. Great. So much more comfortable when I'm just a little square and everybody else is there too. This week we read a double portion, two parshas that sometimes are read separate weeks, and this year they're read both together. And it's called Bahar B'chukotai. It starts off with this idea of every 7 years, I wrote this in the Rabbi's Corner this week, every 7 years the land gets Shabbos. We get Shabbos every week, every 7 days. The land gets it every 7 years. And we're supposed to let the land lay fallow. We're not going to work the land. We're not going to do all of those things. And it's a lesson. It's a lesson in faith. It's a lesson in preparation. It's a lesson in a lot of things. It's also a lesson in acknowledging our role with the earth, with possessions, with all of those things. We don't own land. That's not, God owns land. The universe, nature owns the earth. We don't own it. We are tasked in Genesis to be the stewards for the earth, to be the caretaker of the earth. And that's what Shemitah teaches us. It reminds us that everything we have, every gift, every blessing is not only of our own making. We are blessed with it by God, by our higher power, whatever you want to say, and acknowledging every 7 years that we are not the ultimate source of ownership is an important lesson. So every 7 years, there's this Shemitah, this Sabbath year. And every 7 Sabbath years, so every 49 years, there's a Yovel, or a Jubilee year. And that's the 50th year. Just like on Shavuot, just like between Passover and Shavuot, Pesach and Shavuot, we count 49, 50 days. So the years of Shemitah and Jubilee, we count 50 years. And the Jubilee year, it says, you shall sound the horn loud in the 7th month on the 10th day of the month, the Day of Atonement. You shall hallow the Jubilee year. You'll have the horn sounded throughout the land. You shall proclaim release. And there's a word that's used here, Vikaratem dror, and you shall proclaim release. This word dror is an interesting one because it's not just release. It means not freedom. That's a different word. That's cherut. But it means liberty. And this idea of liberty. And you shall proclaim liberty throughout the land. There's a beautiful drash, and I want to credit my friend and study partner, Rabbi Jeff Arnowitz in Westchester County, New York, who's going through this with us. There's a commentary that he pointed me to on this drash, on this word dror, on this verse, on this pasuk. And it says freedom. This word means liberty. And it gives an example in Proverbs, compare like the flying swallow. The term there denotes a bird which sings as long as it's free, but if it's forced into captivity, it will starve itself to death. And freedom, I was thinking about this, we were talking about freedom and what it means to be free in this society right now. When we don't feel free, right? Is freedom, I should be free to not wear a mask when I walk in the store? No. I walked into a store today. I took one step. I just totally had a brain fart. I took one step into a store. I realized I didn't have my mask on. I saw everybody wearing masks. I backed up. I went to my car and I put my mask on, right? The idea that I should do whatever I want, that's freedom. No, that's not. That's autonomy. And when you live in a society, when you live in a community, you have to have rules. And you are responsible, not just for yourself when you live in a community, you're responsible for other people. Autonomy is not being responsible for anybody else, and it means nobody's responsible for you. But I guarantee you, the people that aren't wearing their masks, that are protesting because they want a haircut, I bet you if they got in trouble, they'd call 911 and they'd think that they're entitled to having somebody care or worry about them. I was talking to my sister, we did a Zoom for Mother's Day on Sunday, and she was telling me, she lives in Israel, she was telling me what they do. They all have trackers on their phones showing where they are, and they're being watched. If they leave their houses, they can get fined, even if they're negative. One man was tested positive and went out anyway and was put in jail, right? Because they understand, their society understands the responsibility that they have to one another. So that's this idea of liberty on a communal level. But then on a micro level, on a personal level, this idea of freedom. This idea of freedom and the swallow, right? It reminds me of a couple of things. One of them is the most depressing song I've ever sung, which is Dona. I don't know if some of you may know that. I'm not going to go into that. You can ask me another time about that song. There's a swallow high above him, softly swinging through the sky. But it also reminds me of a poem by Maya Angelou, which is Caged Bird. And I want to just read this to you. A free bird leaps on the back of the wind and floats downstream till the current ends, and dips its wing in the orange sun rays and dares to climb the sky. But a bird that stalks down his narrow cage can seldom see through his bars of rage. His wings are clipped and his feet are tied, so he opens his throat to sing. The caged bird sings with a fearful trill of things unknown but longed for still, and his tune is heard on the distant hill. The caged bird sings of freedom. The free bird thinks of another breeze, and the trade winds soft through the sighing trees, and the fat worms waiting on a dawn bright lawn, and he names the sky his own. But a caged bird stands on the grave of dreams. His shadow shouts on a nightmare scream. His wings are clipped and his feet are tied, so he opens his throat to sing. The caged bird sings with a fearful trill of things unknown but longed for still, and his tune is heard on the distant hill, for the caged bird sings of freedom. I was thinking about that. I was thinking about that both in terms of our residents who are in their rooms for so many hours a day. And how do you find freedom in there? How do you find freedom in whatever situation you're in, right? I spoke about Viktor Frankl a few weeks ago, and he still applies. The ability to not be defined by our circumstances, the ability to transcend whatever we have and find the freedom inside. Because the truth is, we could be as autonomous and as free as we've ever been, no responsibilities, roaming wherever we go, but that's not freedom. Or we can be in one room and work on ourselves and work on our recovery and find freedom from our demons. This is a beautiful poem by Maya Angelou, and it also, I feel very blessed. I feel blessed also, and those of you who know me, you know that I don't get political very often. I just want to think about, I think sometimes, this idea of privilege and how, yes, I've encountered anti-Semitism, but the second I take this off, I am free of any difference. And I think about the gentleman in Georgia, Ahmaud Arbery, sorry if I pronounced his name wrong, who was shot while jogging. And I think of the freedom that he'll never have, that he was guilty of the crime of jogging while black, which is what Charles Blow wrote in the New York Times. We just talked about tzedakah and justice. We have a duty. We have a responsibility. Yes, we work on ourselves and we work on recovery. And then we use our experience, we use our privilege to help other people. And our responsibility to other people is, yes, wearing a mask when we're told to, but it's so much bigger than that. And this week, wherever we are, however we're in quarantine, I want us to think about how we can use our freedom to help promote freedom for other people, how we can fight for justice, how we can fight for what is right in this world, to make sure that there is no caged swallow, there is no bird that is not free, to make sure that everybody can fly, that everyone can sing on any hill and sing for freedom. Shabbat Shalom. All right, Chaz and Nate, you with me?
Oh, yes.
All right. Let's do it. Let's just bring Shabbos in. I'm so exhausted. I'm just, I need Shabbos. So can you please, Yoni and you, can you please bring in Shabbos with Achadodi?
We're going to do our best, Rabbi.
Should I spotlight you guys or no?
Sure.
Why not?
I don't mind looking at myself. It's okay.
You're pretty.
We're both handsome on this end.
You're very handsome. You're very
All right.
Ready?
Yep. Adoni lihi krakala b'nei Shabbat nekabela Shamor v'zachor v'dibor echad ishmi'anu el ha'mi'uchad Adonai echad u'hu shemo echad l'shemo tiferet ve'elitila lechadodi Krakala b'nei Shabbat nekabela B'chad Shabbat lecho v'nelcha ki mechor ha'abrecha merosh mekerem nesucha sof ma'aseh b'machshava tila lechadodi krakala b'nei Shabbat nekabela Itoreri kiva orech Kumi uri Shir daveri kevod Adonai Alayich nigla lechadodi krakala b'nei Shabbat nekabela Boi v'shalom ateret palaga mesimcha Uvetzolato chemune am segula Boi chala lechadodi krakala b'nei Shabbat nekabela lechadodi krakala Shabbat nekabela.
Did you know he could do that?
With the facial expression or the
The facial expression.
Oh, I didn't know either were possible.
I didn't know.
Put it that way. You know, I've sang the Chadodi in I don't know how many different countries, how many different places, how many different communities, and if you had told me that I'd be leading or even participating in a Zoom Kabbalat Shabbat, I would have said, you're nuts. If you had told me that I would be moved to tears by a Lechadodi over Zoom, I would have said, you're doubly nuts. But Nate, that's how much your soul comes out when you sing, and you just move me to tears. It's absolutely gorgeous. And to hear the guitar and the tambourine all together and the two of you, just thank you.
Thank you.
God, I'm just going to take a minute. I just want, you can meditate, you don't have to, but I want you to take a moment and just scan through and see everybody else before we do the Shema, because we are still a community. I'm just looking at the child that's crawling in my room as I'm leading services. We're still a community, and just to see each other's faces and to feel that closeness and to see, everybody. I'm looking at Jerry and Bob and Laura, it's just great to see you all. And let's just take a deep breath. I'm not going to ask you to close your eyes. Just breathe with me as we scroll through and look at everybody, Lisa and Russell, Nate, Paul. I can't call you Andy. I'm sorry. I'm just going to call you Andrea. I just can't do it. It's just not in my wheelhouse. Bob, it's good to see you. That's not sarcasm, I promise, Bob. And Kathy in her normal spot, being outdoors. I swear, it doesn't matter what time of day. It's always the same time of day in that backyard. I think it's a virtual backyard. I don't think it exists. Let's just say the Shema together. You guys ready? You want to do this? Let's Nate, you are brave to let me. Are you leading Shema or am I? Because it says on the sheet that I am, but yes, I agree, Yoni. Nate, please.
Okay, I'll sing Shema.
And Lisa, get your candlesticks, remember.
Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad.
You know, it's interesting because we sing those words out loud, and then the next words are very quiet, which are Baruch Shem Kivod Malchuto Leolam Ba'ed, which talks about God's sovereignty forever. And I was listening to a podcast. It was actually two people who were in recovery. It was Dax Shepard and Rob Lowe were talking about COVID, and they were saying how this entire moment is a lesson in the Serenity Prayer, and that prayer of Baruch Shem Kavod, God's rule of eternity. We can't control everything, and it's just a reminder of that. So let's do the waving, and Lisa's got her candles all ready. I see that. So I am going to do that, and we are going to say we're going to sing the candle lighting. As soon as she's got it lit, I feel like I'm doing play-by-play. She's striking the match. Oh, this is her. Oh, what a comeback. Oh, it's good. There you go. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kidshanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu lehadlik ner shel Shabbat. May it be a happy, healthy, peaceful Shabbat for us, all our friends, and our loved ones. Amen. All right. It's Daniel and Thea who are going to be singing the Mishaberach. So if you have someone for whom you want to say a Mishaberach, if you want to put them up in the chat, if you want to put their name up in the chat, you're more than welcome to do so. Take it away, Thea.
1, 2, 3.
Mishaberach Avotenu Abraham Yitzchak Ve'Yaakov Sarah Rivka Rachel Bilea Yivarech Birapeh HaHolim Elna Rifanala Elna Rifanala Elna Rifanala Elna Rifanala Mishaberach Avotenu Abraham Yitzchak Ve'Yaakov Sarah Rivka Rachel Bilea Uivarech Birapeh HaHolim.
That is absolutely beautiful. Thank you, Daniel. Haunting. That's the word. It's just a little Elliott Smith vibe going there. We got another one to sing, and now it's the entire musical core, music department. Nate, you're first up in this. Who's first up?
Thea's gonna open it up. Then we're gonna take Laura, and Scott is joining her to sing the middle section of the song, and then John and I are gonna finish it off here.
All right, so it's Thea first. Thea's muted. Nope,
Thea's
she's not.
first.
Yep, let me unmute her.
And everyone will be familiar with this. It's a good hopefully we're lightening on some restrictive times and we can get outside a little bit more. And the sun is coming. It's summer, so this is going to be
Okay.
Here Comes the Sun.
All right. I think this is an up and coming band, if I'm not mistaken. All right, go ahead.
All right. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Here comes the sun, doo-doo-doo-doo. Here comes the sun, and I say it's alright. Little darling, it's been a long, cold, lonely winter. Little darling, it feels like years since it's been here. Here comes the sun. Here comes the sun, and I say it's alright.
Little darling, the smiles returning to their faces. Little darling, it seems like years since it's been here. Here comes the sun, doo-doo-doo-doo. Here comes the sun, and I say it's alright. Sun, 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 here it comes. 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 Sun, 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 here it comes.
Little darling, I feel that ice is slowly melting. Little darling, it seems like years since it's been clear. Here comes the sun, doo-doo-doo-doo. Here comes the sun, and I say it's alright. Here comes the sun, da-da-da-da. Here comes the sun, and I say it's alright. It's alright.
Oh, that was awesome. That was awesome. I love the smile you guys exchanged just now. That was like, and I could see Nate was like, okay, so here's the guitar. Yeah. You got the, okay, great. You got the notes. All right, there you go. That was like, it's like rooting for the putt to go in. That was great, Nate. That was
That's right.
Yeah, we're sports fans over here. We know what rooting is about.
I'm sure. I hope you're watching The Last Dance over there.
We are.
It's the best thing on sports right now.
It's great. Golf's coming back too.
Yeah. So talking about golf is a probably a good segue to Kaddish. I don't know. But we're going to say Kaddish. We're going to remember those who are no longer here. We're going to get serious. We're going to say some prayers. You know, thinking about those in our community who are no longer here, and how much we miss them and how much we still care about them. They don't have to be here in person to be cared about. So I'm going to read off the names that I have. If you have somebody you want to add in the chat, please feel free to say a name in the chat. And as I lead the Kaddish, if you want to answer Amen or Brichu or whatever in the chat as well, you can do that as well. So we're commemorating the art sites this week of Sarah Goldenberg, Al Praver, Alexandra Lasova, Simon Buda, Ruth Fishbein Sawson, Nathan Keller, Stanley Cohen, John Ketz, Bernard B. Rinman, Larry Joe Blakeney, Nadia Ismail, and William Anton. And we're in the year of mourning for Ben Anderson, Joel Atkin, Sherry Fishman, David Foster, Mike Foster, Glenn Goss, Jody Krasovsky, Noah Lehman, Eleanor Lubert, Clara Pinto, Faye Pollock, Mary Jo Poyer, Joan Praver, Patricia Reichman, Barry Rose, Daniel Rosen, Mordechai Sisportis, Zachary Schiffman, Sarah Schmidt, Bernie Shapiro, Joe Stabler, Trevor Stefani, and Steve M. Stewart. If you have somebody for whom you're saying Kaddish, I'm going to invite you to stand where you are, and we'll say the Kaddish together. Yiskadal v'yiskadash shemei Rabbah, ve'alma divrach Yerusei v'yamlich machusei, v'chayechon u'v'yomechon u'v'chayedecho be'ez Yisrael, ba'agala u'bizman kariv v'imru amen. Yehi shmei Rabbah mevorach le'olam ulmei olmaya, yisparach v'yishtabach, v'yispar v'yisromam v'yisnasei, v'yisadar v'yisale v'yishalal, shmei dekudesha b'richu, le'ela min kol berchasa v'shirasa, tushbechasa v'nechemasa, damiran be'alma v'imru amen. Yehei shlama rabba min shemaya, v'chaim aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen. Oseh shalom b'mromav, hu yaseh shalom, aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen. All right. Nate, you there? It's me, Margaret.
Here.
Great. This next piece is going to be Thea, Julia, and the boys, right?
That's right.
All right. So I just, before they start, I'm going to embarrass the hell out of one of them. I'm going to embarrass Julia for a second, actually. So Julia did something that a lot of people don't do, and that is to, advocate for herself. And she did it. And when she didn't do it in a way that made her happy, she had the courage to approach somebody and talk about her reaction. And I just want to thank you, Julia, for letting me get to know you a little bit better and sharing that moment with me, and sharing your beautiful voice with all of us. So take it away.
Say shalom b'mromav, hu yaseh shalom aleinu. Say shalom b'mromav, hu yaseh shalom aleinu. Oh, say shalom b'mromav, hu yaseh shalom aleinu. Yaseh shalom, Yaseh shalom, shalom aleinu, v'yakol Yisrael. Yaseh shalom, Yaseh shalom, shalom aleinu, v'yakol Yisrael. Yaseh shalom b'mromav, hu yaseh shalom aleinu. Shalom b'mromav, hu yaseh shalom aleinu. Oh, say shalom b'mromav, hu yaseh shalom aleinu. Yaseh shalom, yaseh shalom, shalom aleinu, v'yakol Yisrael. Yaseh shalom. Yaseh shalom, shalom aleinu, v'yakol
walking a straight line, always avoiding landmines, and the struggle screaming, God take what's mine. Bury my parents and to heaven's line, losing my son cause pills were stronger than the bloodline. So powerful, writing in a hospital bed and performing it live, cause I get in line, line. I know evil, but now I live in freedom. Active addiction, bleeding cause I'm not feeding the devil. I create magic, burning heat. My life is no longer incomplete. I got an army filling every Jeep seat. I can shed tears before I go to sleep because I'm lucky to be alive. Why me and not you? I don't know, but my heart beats to the ground besides my receipt.
Shalom, shalom aleinu, v'yachol Yisrael. Yaseh shalom, shalom aleinu, v'yachol
Wow, that was awesome. Kyle, can I embarrass you for a second?
Go ahead.
Do you want to tell everybody where you were today or no?
Yeah, I was hospitalized for 3 days.
All right, so Kyle was in the hospital, and called into his groups from the hospital, by the way. Like, that's a badass. And then decided from his hospital to come and perform tonight. And thank you. You kicked some butt. And I like the throwback Adidas tracksuit. That's a very homage. You know, I like the Run DMC homage. It's close to my heart. It's really good to see you guys. Damn, I miss you.
I miss
Like,
you. Miss you too.
I miss you guys. I miss being in a room. Like, I'm looking at the four of you. And by the way, somebody has to take a picture of Thea playing the guitar with that mask on. She is so badass in that thing. It is awesome.
That's right.
That's it. Like, Laura, it's so good to see you. And it's good to see Scott. Is that Scott? Oh my God, the rabbi from thousands of years ago. I remember that. There was another Scott too. Anyway, good job, everybody. I'm gonna